What's going on, everyone? Jake Blinn here with Apocalypse Movies, and I am joined today by Jacob Ardley and Brian Avalicino, and we're here to do a full spoiler-filled breakdown of Avengers: Infinity War. As you can tell, this is an audio podcast for the breakdown. We wanted to have a little bit of fun with it, relax while we're talking about this massive, massive movie. Yeah, we're going to get into full spoiler depth. We're going to break down characters, stories, everything that kind of goes on with this film in a different kind of fashion. Now, the way it's going to work is we all have certain topics we want to talk about. We're kind of going to go around the table and just bring up a topic we want to talk about, almost like a fantasy draft style where we pick certain topics to mention. All three of us are going to go back and forth, have a good conversation about it. I imagine us getting into 5 to 8 topics around this breakdown. The more bigger ones, it includes both positives and negatives. And so we're just going to have fun talking about. We're going to jump back and forth between the film. Not going in any particular order. So, real quick, Jacob, I mean, you weren't on the review that Brian and I did, but just initial quick thoughts of the movie, man.
Man, I've seen it twice now, and it's tough, man. I think I still need a few more times, but overall, I love it, man. How can you not? Yeah. It's just a feast for film fans, or for Marvel fans, overall, comic book movie fans. I love it a lot. I don't want to jump ahead and say it's my favorite MCU film, or that it's the best comic book movie ever made. I'm not there yet, but it's gonna be up there no matter what. Yeah. It delivered on all levels. Honestly, the most shocking and surprising MCU movie I've ever seen.
It's filled with just crazy
Honestly,
stuff.
Like, it's so unpredictable, and it shocked me and surprised me the most. I did not see so many things coming. It's such a bold film, and I love every minute of it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a thrill ride.
Totally.
I love it.
Well, we got a lot to talk about, so let's just get right into it now. We're going to start off with Brian. I know Brian's probably got some things he wants to talk about. Just doesn't have to be the first one on your list. Doesn't have to be the most important thing on your list. But what's the first thing you really want to talk about when it comes to Avengers: Infinity War?
Oh, what's the first thing I want to talk about? I'm going to have to go with the possible reveal of the Soul World.
Okay.
Right.
The Soul World, not the Soul Stone. The Soul World.
No, not the Soul Stone.
I mean, it does have to do with it.
It's connected.
I mean, it is the Soul Stone.
The
Soul. Much, yeah.
We'll go Soul Stones. I hate saying this word. Soul Stone. Soul Word. Or Soul World. See, it's already messing me up. And just the fact that all that came with it, and personally, I mean, I'm going to be blunt as it is. I think Gamora's going to come back in the next movie. And Jake hates and fights me every single time I bring it up.
I don't hate and fight.
She's not coming back.
I just think that the death impact doesn't mean anything if she does. That's the only thing.
We'll lose someone else, but I think she's not coming back.
I
think, okay, so let's just rewind a little bit. So the death of Gamora was probably what the film hinged on. That moment is what everything
changed everything in the movie.
It definitely did. And so it's interesting for a lot of people that don't know anything about Soul World, what would happen with reaction-wise if she did come back, because the movie did impact it, or that moment did impact the movie so much. And so would I would like to see Gamora back? Yes, because Zoe Saldana killed it. Her character in this movie was fantastic. But it was so important to the movie that I wouldn't... It's like the Phil Coulson situation all over again in Avengers, where he just came back in TV form. It wouldn't fit for me.
Oh, yeah. It makes the movie less important.
But I do like the idea of Soul World, because we could see characters that we've never met before who've been trapped in there for ages. Characters that were way back when that are, in the history books of Marvel Comics. But as far as Gamora goes, it's possible, but I just think it would take away from that moment of her being thrown off a cliff and just zooming in her body, her lifeless body, with green blood everywhere.
Oh, yeah. No, she's dead.
Opposite.
She's dead, dude.
Complete opposite of you two. I think that this is a way for them to also I shouldn't say get rid of. If they bring her back, the potential for Guardians 3, maybe even making or letting Star-Lord and her go off into the sunset at the end of that movie, because he already lost her once, not gonna have that unspoken thing anymore. I think there's just too much left unfinished in her story.
That's true. I mean, that's a valid point. Because if you really do think back, I mean, her character, with how important she really felt, she was short-lived. She was a very short-lived character. But I just think that it was such a shocking
But that's
impact.
kind of the point. That's life. Like, when somebody passes away, like, of course they had more to their story, but it was cut short. And I think, for me, like, it wasn't a meaningless death. Like, if that was the one key moment that made Thanos such a great villain, what he had to do to accomplish his mission, if you bring her back,
doesn't mean anything.
That erases all of that. And then now you watch Infinity War and you're like, oh, it doesn't really mean that much. Because that's arguably the most, like, crucial moment in the film, and it takes that completely away. So I think she's dead for sure. I don't want her to be dead. I love Gamora. She's great. Like, if I had the choice, I don't know if Star-Lord or her, like, to continue in Guardians, I don't know if it would be an easy choice for me. Like, I might take Gamora, but she's not coming back.
Yeah, I don't think she is either. But it's very possible.
I see what you're saying. If like, Loki's for sure not coming back.
No,
but if it's possible at all, the Soul Stone could make it possible for her to come back.
Out of all of the characters that died, other than the Dusted character, she's the one who's most likely
because you could make an argument, oh, her soul went into the soul world, and
there's a potential arc
it brings her back. But I don't want them to do that.
Yeah,
I don't want them.
I just think that what's the point of Thanos going to the soul world at the end with Kid Gamora?
Yeah,
if they didn't have any intention of going back to her. I just feel like there's still, her story is not finished. That's what makes me think that she is going to come back in some way or another. I just honestly truly don't see her story being done.
It's very possible. All right, Jacob.
Well, I mean, it's the perfect segue. Thanos. I mean, it's Thanos, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I know we all want to talk about him.
Yeah.
I actually didn't have him on my list.
He's the main. I mean, I know everybody's said it already, but he's the main character of this movie. This is his film.
100%.
You could watch, if you told somebody, hey, I want you to watch this movie about this guy who has this vision to wipe out half the population, and just say it's about him, and nobody knew anything about the movie, like, you would believe that this is a movie about him, even though he's doing some terrible things.
Yep.
It's so well done. I'm torn. I'm like, is he the best MCU villain? He's crazy.
The best MCU villain.
I know, for me, I don't like to jump ahead so much, but after watching it a second time, it's hard to argue against that.
So
it's hard to argue against it.
And you're comparing him to Loki, correct?
Of course.
Loki is, before this movie, Loki is top dog. Like, he is the number one. Loki he's gotten backstory. He's gotten great development. Him and Thor, the relationship that he creates with all these other characters around him is fantastic. But he also plays both sides. And if you're talking pure villain, if you're talking a guy who has a plan, and also a character who was given development and backstory, and it was all well done, and on top of being the main character of a movie, we haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've come around. After my first viewing, I was like, no, you gotta give it some time. But after my second viewing, I'm like, he's the guy.
And we've all been talking about Thanos and the way they've kind of went about him and everything, and his finally showing up lived up to everything that has been going on the past 6 years. No one has talked about the way Josh Brolin played him.
Okay,
he was great.
Been waiting for you to shut up so that way I could bring him.
Josh Brolin, this guy.
He was perfect.
When he was casted as Thanos, I remember people like almost bringing pitchforks up, like, this guy, why is he going to be Thanos? Yeah,
oh, I don't remember that.
And then they brought him out in Comic-Con with the glove, and people kind of brought him, like, loved him a little bit. And then we saw the first trailer, and his voice was perfect.
His voice is what makes the movie.
But as I watch this movie, I can literally see Brolin's face on Thanos.
Dude, I think they did mocap.
It's scary.
I'm pretty sure they did mocap.
They did. There's pictures of
his eyes. They
look
the
just
way
like
they use his eyes, like you just mentioned. The way they use his voice and the dialogue, it's so
great.
Good.
You didn't think that he?
Not after the first time. The second time.
Oh, I saw it the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's emphasized in that moment when Baby Gamora asks him what did it cost, and he says everything. Like that moment is crazy.
Dude, his voice, and like when he's just talking to Tony Stark in that scene where he pretty much beats him to the ground. Like, I hope they remember you. Dude,
well, that's the
it's
thing.
Amazing.
This is what makes Thanos such a great villain. He has honor. A lot of villains, what they do is, oh, I'm trying to get this device. Yep. If you spare their life, I'll give you this device. They give him the device, and the villain kills the guy anyway.
He stays to his word.
He gave him his word. Yep. He wasn't going to kill Stark if he gave it to him, and he left, and he let him live. And that, I'm like, wow, what a great villain, because
he didn't kill.
And you notice
Thor
he
either.
could have killed everybody that he came across if he wanted to.
Like Brian just mentioned,
and the thing is,
Thor.
exactly, he didn't kill Thor. I think part of that is the balance thing in a way. Like, he doesn't believe in killing everybody. He killed Loki, leave Thor alive. Yes. That's the balance, right? But part of it is like he doesn't want to just kill people for no reason. So when Captain America's running at him, when everybody's running at him at the end, and he could have killed them in one stroke, but he doesn't. All he wants to do is get that stone and complete his mission. So I love that he doesn't just want to kill for no reason. It's all about the balance thing, and he's such a great character. And the way he delivers his dialogue, and when he's explaining everything to Doctor Strange,
dude,
it's beautiful. It's really great.
It goes back to the backstory and the development of him.
He's not only one of the best villains; he's one of the best characters. Period.
He's the way
all comic book films.
And we've all wondered, like, would he live up to the hype, because he's been, he was teased at the end of Avengers in the post-credit scene. He was in Guardians 1 just a little bit, and then he was in the post-credit scene of another movie.
Yeah.
So he's shown up here and there, and we're like, okay, this guy's here. Is he going to live up to... He surpassed...
Well, remember my video, I said the success of this movie is going to hinge on Thanos, and it exceeded my expectations,
and
honestly.
if you go around the
really
internet and you look at, like cover images and posters that people are using as far as for articles or whatever it may be, it's not pictures of the Avengers. It's pictures of Thanos.
Great,
because he is... the main character.
Yeah.
And this goes back, because you just mentioned something, this goes back to what Brian said in our review. He asked the question, is he really pure evil? Is he a pure villain because, and Brian said this, he felt he was agreeing with him as he was watching the movie. With what he was saying as far as his reasons why he was doing everything.
The reasons why make sense, but the way he goes about doing it is wrong.
It's evil. Wrong. It's villainous in a way. Yeah.
But like when you were saying, Loki is like sometimes a villain, sometimes a good guy. I was thinking in my head like Thanos isn't necessarily a bad guy, but he would never team up with the good guys. Exactly. Like, but I'm just saying he's not necessarily an evil person. What he's doing is evil, but he's not evil in his heart.
We've always talked about the best villains are the ones that think they're doing the right thing.
And he really does.
He is the ultimate guy who's doing.
There's so many great moments when he's telling Gamora, "I'm the only one who believes that," or "I'm the only one who
has the will to
exactly."
Do it. Yes.
So it's just beautiful, man. It makes me want to watch the movie again just to hear. I just watched those scenes where he talks. They're so great.
Yeah, seriously. All right, so we had mentioned him a little bit in our last topic, but we got to talk about Thor, man.
Yes.
Got to talk about Thor.
Thor was the next one on my list.
This guy. So, Thor was considered the lesser of the franchises going into Thor Ragnarok, going into Infinity War. Ragnarok obviously crushed charts. Just everything about that movie crushed. And then we see him in Infinity War. And if you've seen the movie, you know that this guy is everything that stands for the Avengers.
Yep.
He's the most powerful. Outside of Thanos, I think he's probably the most powerful Avenger. What he can do,
wait, did you say
especially now.
Of Thanos?
Well, okay, character. I should have said character, not Avenger. Character.
I was like, wait.
I mean,
sorry.
Especially with Stormbreaker.
Dude. Okay,
it took him to another level.
His story in Infinity War, outside of Thanos's, is my favorite, simply because of the way they use him, the development they give him, the backstory they give to everything else around him, as well as bringing along Groot and Rocket. Like, bringing those two along with him was one of the smartest moves they could have done, because it was such a fun, entertaining journey to see those three on. And then that moment when they show up in Wakanda is probably my favorite moment in the movie.
It's up there.
When
everybody
he throws
cheered.
Stormbreaker, and then he shows up, he's in uniform, Rocket and Groot right next to him. And
I didn't notice Rocket was on his shoulder the first time.
And then you see him charging into battle each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rocket's on his shoulder. Standing on top of
He gets off real quick, but he's there.
Oh, I didn't see that.
But then you see them charging into battle. Like, dude, Thor is probably my favorite character in this movie.
I think they finally figured out how to use him.
Yes.
And now they're like, holy crap.
Yes.
Now we've got...
If they had plans to kill him, they're not doing it anytime soon. After Ragnarok and this...
Like, we've been talking about Black Panther and Scarlet Witch and all these characters being the future of Marvel. I don't think he's going anywhere.
Mm-mm.
I don't think he's going.
Well, we always
anywhere.
knew it's going to be a mixture of old Avengers and new Avengers. I think he's going to be one of the ones that stick.
I think,
and honestly, if Cap or Iron Man go or both go, he could be the leader because he's a veteran. He's been around.
Asgard's gone now.
Yeah, what does
exactly.
he have? What does
Earth
he
is
have?
his home.
Yeah.
Dude.
The Netherlands, right? Or where did they?
Norway.
Norway.
Norway. Yeah.
Yeah. And we know that half of Asgard got away, and they probably went to Norway. Honestly.
Maybe that's where Valkyrie and
Yeah.
Korg
Oh,
are at
for
the bar.
sure.
No,
They're at the Norway bar.
Yeah,
you know
they're at the bar. They for sure know how to use him now. If they had, I guarantee you there were plans to kill him, and Ragnarok changed everything.
Yes.
And now he's so freaking popular that he's gonna be in so much.
And you can tell that Chris Hemsworth absolutely loves playing him.
Yeah.
Like, enjoys the living hell out of playing him.
I think he loves playing him now.
You can sense the difference if you watch The Dark World and Age of Ultron.
There's a different...
different performance than Ragnarok and Infinity
What's kind
War,
of funny, funny to me is when I think about his storyline is that almost in a way, the first couple movies that we have Thor, Loki is more popular.
Outshines him.
And now Thor is kind of like they transferred
outshining everybody.
Dude. They transferred from Loki because Loki blew up. I think more than they ever anticipated.
After the first Avengers movie, for sure. Yeah.
To now, they're like, okay, Loki's dead. Thor is right in the forefront. Because if they get rid of Thor, that's a huge loss of like the 9 realms, all of that storyline.
The connection and everything. Because he's the king of Asgard.
He can use the Bifrost with
Stormbreaker
now.
He can now
After it was
summon...
destroyed. That's crazy.
Well,
dude.
and speaking of that, not just the Bifrost, but the moment where he throws the hammer into Thanos, like, yes, he missed his head or whatever. Like, Thanos is like, you should have cut my head off, but...
I think he wanted to talk to him when he killed
that moment.
No, 100%.
The moment where he threw Stormbreaker and it goes through the Infinity Gauntlet's
full
beam,
gauntlet with all of the Infinity
goes
Stones.
like you know how powerful Thor is in that
That's
moment because it goes
insane.
straight through it and it just dives right into Thanos' chest.
He couldn't stop it.
And then he just digs it in deeper. Oh, dude,
that was
such a good moment.
Such
a good moment.
Yeah.
Shall we segue?
Yeah, let's go, Brian.
It's actually kind of funny that we're actually transitioning really well, which is kind of freaking me out. But my next segue was Stormbreaker and the possibility of seeing Beta Ray Bill.
Beta Ray Bill, yeah.
So my whole thing was, if they introduced Stormbreaker, to me, that would, and this was before Infinity War, that was to me gonna tell me that Thor was on his probably way out and Beta Ray Bill was gonna make his way in. Mm-hmm. After that, I don't even think Beta Ray Bill's gonna be on anyone's mind.
Well, and here's the funny thing. So, we've seen Beta Ray Bill teases throughout the MCU for a long time.
Yeah.
It first started in Guardians, when the skeleton of his kind was there with Chris Pratt in the opening. And then we saw the first trailer to Ragnarok. Well, he was one of the statues.
And people...
It's in the movie.
Is it in the movie? Okay, so it is in the movie.
Yeah, it's on the statue.
Yeah, so he was
the
on...
top of Hulk's room.
It's
on there, yeah.
Sakaar as one of the champions. Whether or not it was him, we don't know. But it's more than likely it was him.
At least it's an Easter egg, you know?
Yes.
At the least.
And people... I know it was said that it wasn't, but it sure does freaking look like him in... What is it? Original Guardians at the end, or no, is that the end where he's in one of the, where it looks like there's one of them in the collector's cage?
So when they first go to see the collector in the distance, you can see a Beta Ray Bill figure.
It's either him or
it was never confirmed.
It's probably not him, but it sure as hell.
So there's been teases everywhere
looks
for
like him.
It would look. Beta Ray Bill is one of the most popular characters out there as far as in the Thor universe goes. Like he is.
There's room for him in a Thor movie.
Especially now, 100%, because Asgard is gone. That story is over and done with. Where do you go next with that franchise if you still do it? Would I like to see it? Yes. It would just be very interesting as far as how they balance it, because Beta Ray Bill is almost a main character type figure.
True.
But with Thor there now, how prominent he is, it'd be interesting to see how they did it.
I don't see him ever getting his own movie or anything like that, but I could see him being a side character in a Thor film.
He'd be. Best. I feel like he'd be like a Valkyrie.
Yeah,
a Valkyrie.
The problem is, look at the way Valkyrie blew up. They're not going to get rid of her.
A Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok.
They would all be in the same movie for sure. I'm just curious because if I'm not mistaken, doesn't Thor get Stormbreaker from Beta Ray Bill in the comics?
In the comics, yeah.
But not that it has to be like the comics, but if that's not the storyline to get Thor a new weapon, what's the storyline with Beta Ray if we ever do see him? That's my only concern.
We've seen changes here and there,
that's true.
But to that specific arc, that's very, very important. So they'd have to twist it pretty hard. They would twist it. And now, I would love to see it. It would be interesting and I think difficult in a way to kind of twist and turn everything to make him appear, especially with this new MCU we're getting after Avengers 4, because it's going to be completely different with these characters and movies and everything.
Let me ask you, would you even want him?
It depends what they do with the Thor franchise. Are they going to make a fourth movie? That's the thing. Like, if they make a fourth movie and have plans for him going forward, I think they have to at some point because they run out of stuff for the Thor movies.
Yeah.
Unless they do what they did with Tony Stark and just plant him elsewhere. And just keep him in Avengers movies or whatever it may be. Or maybe even join the Guardians. Like, what if Beta Ray Bill and Thor join the Guardians?
Okay,
like,
that's
possible.
That's the one thing that I thought could happen is seeing some type of form of Beta Ray Bill with the Guardians.
Well, we've seen this in Marvel so far is they haven't always stuck to the comics as far as origins. Like, Ant-Man didn't create Ultron in these movies.
Oh, yeah.
Why can't Beta Ray Bill be on the next wave of Guardians?
Yeah. He definitely could. For me, I was just saying, like, for him to come in and be the reason why Thor gets a new weapon, that would have been a powerful way to bring him in. I can't think of a more like a powerful way that's equivalent to that. You know what I'm saying? But they could totally do it. They could. Maybe he needs Thor's help for some reason. He comes to Earth. He's like, Thor, I need your help, and they go out. That's the next Thor movie.
Well, and it kind of planted with Thor now knowing who the Guardians are.
Exactly.
Like, that maybe it's highly possible.
The Guardians are so easily interchangeable.
Well, we already heard that after Guardians 3, it's gonna be a new lineup.
Yeah.
And one of them's gone for sure.
Yeah.
They're
all gone. The Rocket.
I mean,
they're all gone.
That's true. Yeah. Right now they're all gone.
Yeah, just Rocket's left. Which why he's left, I don't know why, but
I'm glad he is.
Yeah.
I'm glad he is. No, honestly,
he was great in Infinity War.
He really was.
Okay,
yeah.
That was another mini thing I was gonna bring up if someone brought it up was, what is it? Feige said that if they weren't featured prominently in this movie, they'd be prominently in 4. Yep. Groot was really not used in this movie.
No, but he's also teenage Groot.
Yeah.
But, like, he barely...
But you also got to think, there were a lot of characters who didn't.
Yeah.
True.
There were a lot of characters. But I understand how powerful he could be.
I was just more... this kind of tying it back to what you were saying is, I'm more surprised Rocket didn't disappear and Groot didn't stay.
Yeah.
That's what I expected.
I just think there's so much you can do with Rocket because he can actually speak.
Well, and I also think
talk to the characters.
I also think that having Groot disappear impacted Rocket more than having Rocket disappear.
You see Rocket when at the end of the movie in that last shot, his head's just straight down and he's looking, he's devastated.
Because Groot is that's like everything he has.
Oh yeah, that's everything his family. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Rocket was great. I'm sure we'll talk about him, but I have one thing which you guys probably aren't going to bring up, but this is one thing I really want to talk about is, so not necessarily the Black Order, but Ebony Maw. I love this character. I am so disappointed that he died, honestly.
I'm disappointed that all 4 of them died. I think that the big ogre could have died.
Yeah.
But I would have
I wanted Proxima Midnight to survive and Ebony Maw.
Cole Obsidian could have bitten the dust.
Dude, earlier than he did in the movie. He didn't really do a whole lot.
But, dude, Ebony Maw, the way he spoke, the way he talked, he opens up the movie.
Yeah. He's fantastic.
He's so amazing. His powers are great.
The movie.
But I mean,
the creepy voice of the Asgardian ship, the rescue. That creepy voice, and then his creepy voice
No,
was like...
I just meant like part of the opening of the film.
When he was with Doctor Strange in his ship, dude, those moments, he's
Every
so
scene
good.
with him was
he's
great,
so
dude.
Good.
When he shows up, and then just the way Tony, throws him off. He's like, okay, Earth is closed today. He doesn't even let him finish his sentences. And then
he doesn't even
the Squidward line probably has everybody cracking up. And I just, he's just so powerful, Ebony Maw. I was holy crap, how are they going to fight this guy?
All he does
you kind of had to take him out early because if it's him and Thanos, you don't really have a chance.
I would have loved to have seen him go forward. I mean,
honestly, he is such a great character.
Yeah, he's so good.
There's so much... See, the thing that bums me out is I did because the Black Order was easily probably one of the things I was looking forward to the most, that I did a crap ton of research on him. He has such a good comic book storyline too, because it is made known throughout the comics that the only person he really cares about, which it did not seem like this in the movie, is himself, to the point where there's, in the comics, he betrays Thanos a bunch of times to look out for himself.
Okay.
Which,
they made him seem very loyal to Thanos.
Oh,
in this
exactly.
movie.
That's the only thing. He was
he's been around him since the flashback.
Yeah.
He was there on his origin when he first met Gamora, which was at least 20 years prior.
Yeah.
So he'd been with them for a long time.
If you could have kept one of them alive, I wanted to be him.
100%.
It would have been great because they could have played into a future arc as far as maybe the Guardians or a character down the line. Especially Ebony Maw. I'm disappointed by Proxima Midnight.
Yeah.
I like her in the comics a lot.
I love her voice.
Yeah, Carrie Coon is fantastic.
It was
Carrie Coon
so
is
robotic.
But yeah, her character, she was good in what she did, but she just wasn't used as much as I really wanted.
It's tough. There's not a lot of time to give to these.
It was
characters.
all about Thanos. That's why.
Exactly.
They were minions.
I just don't think they all had to die, like you said. Like keep those two alive. I would have been happy somehow.
Did you not think? Well, I had a panic moment when Proxima Midnight was fighting.
I thought Black Widow was gonna die.
So did I.
Dude, I almost lost my crap.
My mouth was open, my hands were covering my mouth, thinking, there's no way Okoye, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch, one of them was not gonna
I was gonna stand up and yell, hell no!
I think
Black Widow died,
even Josh, who doesn't really know much about this stuff, he looks at me and he goes, if she dies.
Dude,
I
thought for sure she... You didn't?
I was never worried, no.
Oh.
I just didn't. There was other characters I was worried about, but not her.
Really?
Because I just feel like there's too much you can do with her in the future. And she's been around, she's an OG Avenger. I just didn't think she was going to go.
Yeah, they kept all the OGs around.
I just think her role was so small in this movie to where like that can't be it. Is all I'm saying.
Well, and I was gonna bring that up later, but I don't know if I'll get around to it. But that's like a perfect segue into what I want to talk about is the minimal usage of Captain America and Black Widow. How little they were in this movie. Now,
not much.
It makes sense because Kevin Feige and the Russos have come out multiple times saying, if your favorite characters aren't in this movie a lot,
that's exactly,
or if they aren't in it at all, I guarantee you they will have a prominent role in Avengers 4.
And they will.
Now,
that
after
scares
the way,
me,
it's always going to scare us. But after the way this movie ended, and we'll probably get to the ending at some point, they are going to play a gigantic role going forward. And I love, these comments came out recently, but I love what the Russos had said about Black Widow and Captain America specifically, is that when things go wrong, they don't sit around and talk about it like maybe a Tony Stark does, or maybe like a Guardians or Thor or whatever. They kind of just put their gloves on and go fist punch some people.
Yeah, the subway scene.
Well, and that's what I'm talking about. So
that was the most badass.
There's not a lot of, like, you don't need a lot of time to sit there and kind of watch them do stuff because they literally just say, okay, let's go. Like, let's go to battle.
Exactly, yeah.
And so they don't need that much screen time, and I totally understand that.
They speak with their actions.
Am I upset that they're not in it? Sure, because they're two of my favorite characters, but I know that Avengers 4 is going to feature them so heavily.
Oh, for sure.
So heavily.
It's kind of a good thing that they kind of dusted so many characters, because now there's like less than 10 that they can focus on in the next film, including characters who weren't in this movie at all.
I think it's definitely a factor, the fact that they dusted out a lot of the characters most people were thinking that we're going to see coming in the future. I.e. Black Panther, Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, all these characters that have more movie potential, and now we're just left with the old ones.
Well, and we can go right into the whole dusting factor, but they kept the OG Avengers alive.
I know that's done intentionally.
Here's the catch,
obviously,
is that all of the people who are closest to them in this group of superheroes are gone. Steve, Winter Soldier, Black Widow. Well, Hulk is still there, but Black Widow has family out there with Hawkeye's family. Who Brian brought up an interesting theory as to why we'll see Hawkeye in Avengers 4. His family got dusted. His family is dusted, and it brings it back into
some
the
of
fold.
them,
yes,
not
exactly.
all of them.
His kids.
And the same with Ant-Man. I think Wasp dust at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yep.
To tie it in, because it is set before Infinity War.
Yep.
They already came out and said.
Well, I knew that.
I don't know how they do it, but I think it might be a post-credit scene.
Or her daughter. His daughter.
I think. Oh yeah.
What if his daughter goes?
Oh,
that would be.
Because remember, he's on house arrest.
I kind of want Wasp to be in the movie, but
I think she will be.
I think she is too.
I think she will.
But actually, like on the team, like working with.
I think
his daughter is going to go.
I think the families are.
Imagine that impact.
The families are going to be.
If we see his daughter disappear on screen, that's going to top Spider-Man. The sadness
Dude, well,
of
I was going
Spider-Man.
to say, like the impact that Spider-Man had on Tony Stark, like that scene,
dude.
Tears you.
It really
tears you.
Tom
apart.
Holland is a great actor.
Oh,
that was
good.
That was amazing.
So good.
Best Spider-Man.
Best Spider-Man.
No, oh, for sure.
Best
okay, good.
Absolutely.
We all agree. Okay, good.
This because
that's why us three
out
are
of
talking.
all of the points in this movie, the ending has been the most controversial. It's been the one that everyone is talking about. I've talked to multiple people that absolutely hated it. I've talked to multiple people at work.
Really?
People I've talked to, like just in general, they don't like it because they're like, "What are they going to do? They killed everyone. Like, what's going on next?" I personally think it's the best thing they could have done.
Me too.
Because it brings everything back to normal. Like, it brings everything back to the OGs. They have to find new ways to fight Thanos. They have to bring in Hawkeye.
Figure out where Thanos is.
Well, they have to bring out Hawkeye, Ant-Man, Wasp, and Captain Marvel.
Yep.
Okay, this is the reason why Captain Marvel, and we saw it in the post-credit scene. By the way, Nick Fury saying "Mother" is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah,
like, it's so perfect for Sam Jackson. But I mean, how do you feel about the ending? Like, is it the best thing they could have done?
Yeah.
I do think
because
so,
it's the
honestly.
boldest thing they could have done.
It was so impactful. Everybody was gasping in the theater.
Dude, when Winter Soldier first dusted, I was like, wait, what's going on? Like, he was the first one, he goes, Steve,
Dude,
and then he just falls.
I was my mind.
Shocked.
Josh looked at me with his mouth wide open because I was about to stand up. Because Winter Soldier is one of my favorites. And it still, like, gets me, like...
Well,
I was like, no. There's no way he's going out
he's
like
not
this.
the Winter Soldier. Like, he's Bucky again. And he just goes, Steve, and he falls to the ground.
That was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Just hear him say Steve.
And then he just...
Even, dude, the one that a lot of people aren't talking about, when because Drax is, like, very strong, right?
Yeah.
And he's very comedic now. But how serious was he? Quill?
Yeah.
Like, that... I was like, damn, he's scared.
Well, you also had Black Panther
dude,
with
the way they showed it and the way you see their faces, I think they can feel themselves dying. Like, they feel pain when that's happening.
Well, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Peter definitely
I don't think they feel
Yeah.
pain, but I think they feel... Well, what Spider-Man say?
He said he was
they
hurting.
feel
They
weird.
start to feel sick. Like,
Yeah, I
he's
just start to
feeling
feel
sick.
sick. Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, there's like a look of pain on, not physical pain, but like
well,
I
we
don't
saw
know.
Scarlet Witches too. She kind of like just looked up like, oh,
And it just
okay,
disappeared.
yeah. I don't know, man.
I loved it, honestly.
I did too.
I
mean,
really did.
Here's the cool thing: is we have no idea what's happening. That's the best part about it. We have no idea going into Avengers 4 what's going to happen because there's maybe 7 of them left. You have what? So we have Nebula, Iron Man, Cap, Hulk, Black Widow, Rocket, Thor, and War Machine.
Yeah.
So there's 8 of them.
I don't understand why
And
War
then
Machine is
Hawkeye, Ant-Man.
Hawkeye and Ant-Man,
And
Wasp, and Captain Marvel are out there, but as
Yeah.
far as in this movie...
Well, yeah, I'm just like,
but
in the
those
next
4
film,
are out
they'll
there.
be in the
Oh, well,
film.
and Okoye is around.
Oh, Okoye, that's right. So let's
Yeah.
just say that those 9 and then those 4 are brought into the fold. There's only 13 of them.
That's a lot less characters than are in this
13
movie.
of them to go against
Which
Thanos.
I love that because I'm not saying it's a negative at all, but we just got a lot less time with a lot of characters than we wanted. So I think it's going to be great to narrow it down for the next film. And it's going to be a reunion of the original 6 Avengers. And to see Cap and Tony reunite and just make up and work together, it's going to be it's going to be
Here's
great.
the bigger question. Do all of those dusted characters, are they gone until the end of Avengers 4?
Yes.
I think so,
I think so too.
Them winning at the end is whatever
Them
they do,
getting
get the
them
glove, reverse time, whatever it is, it's them getting them back. None of those characters are going to be in the film until the end. I think they'll be in the end, though.
Which I think is going to... Dude, that's crazy. The fact that no Spider-Man, no Black Panther,
when it
no
started
Scarlet Witch...
Look, when it started happening, I realized what was happening. I was like, I can't believe they're doing this. I was like, Spider-Man's good. There's not going to do Spider-Man. I was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it, dude.
For me,
couldn't believe it.
That happened to me, except it was Black Panther.
Yeah,
I was shocked by him too.
Black Panther's happened so fast, though. I didn't have time to react.
There wasn't as big of an impact because Peter's like you could see
he took a lot longer than most of them
Black
did.
Panther kind of came around the corner and then he was gone.
But I was shocked still, but it was just too quick.
Because
all he did was say "Get up, General," and then
because his movie is literally still in theaters. Like he literally.
I know,
I
right?
saw it the day before.
Dude, people were going crazy. Like a lot of casual movie fans,
Keith was pissed.
Don't think that anyone's
Keith
coming.
was super
don't
pissed.
think that anyone's coming back.
No, which is so good.
I've decided to not tell them and play along like, yeah, I can't believe they killed everyone. Like, it's crazy. Because I don't want it to be ruined for them,
to be in
their
shoes.
The one character,
I would
honestly,
love to be
me
in
too.
shoes.
The one character I'm curious to see if that they didn't tell us that was dusted or not was Shuri.
Yeah.
They didn't show it.
Yeah.
I think she's still around.
I think she's still around, and I think they're gonna grab her and Tony Stark.
Yeah, we know that half the universe is gone, and half of them are, and it's gonna be interesting to see who's left, and who they bring into the fold from the MCU period, as far as not just superpowered characters, but characters in general.
Yeah.
Because they need everyone on their side at this point. Everyone on their side.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure we'll do a separate video on the ending at some point, but. Brian, what do you got next, man, as far as interesting topics that you'd want to talk about? I hope it's what I think it is. I hope what I think it is, but go ahead.
Now you just set me up for, like, now
failure if it's not.
Yeah, I know.
It's not something great.
Well, the one thing I was going to go for is, okay, I had two, but now I just figured out what you wanted. You wanted Captain Marvel.
No.
No?
No. Go ahead, though. Let's talk about it.
Well, for me, it was...
Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, fine. We'll go with Captain Marvel first, because I do have one other one that I really want to touch on. Is where the hell is Captain Marvel?
She's out in space, dude. That beacon is 100% space.
It kind of answered our question because we were like, okay, where is she? She's aware somewhere.
Yes.
She's not like in a coma or anything
Yes.
like that. She's aware somewhere.
She basically did what Steve did to Tony at the end of Civil War. Is like, if you need me, here's something to
Exactly.
reach you. It's exactly what she did.
But why? Why?
Well,
we're gonna find out.
I know, but
Dude,
I'm just saying. Like,
Kevin Feige and Marvel are geniuses.
Dude,
100%.
Now you have to watch Captain Marvel.
Placing it right before Avengers 4, and that post-credit scene in the movie is going to be Avengers 4 teaser. It's going to be something that...
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Or it's just going to be her getting the beacon from Sam Jackson.
Exactly.
I think she's off fighting the Kree War still.
It's something that she has to go do.
Exactly. She's deep somewhere in the universe. She's possibly been keeping an eye on Earth, keeping an eye on Thanos or whatever it is, and now it's gotten to a point where she needs to come in, and I'm going to lose my freaking mind when she does.
It's going to be crazy.
Dude, because you've been reading the comics. I've known about her for a long time. Like, I am going to lose my crap when she shows up on Earth. It's like, what's up? I'm Carol Danvers. I'm here to save the day.
Exactly.
Her and Captain America, oh my god.
Yeah, it's going to be insane, dude.
Every time I think of her, I just think of when Lane was sitting in the movie theater and going, who the hell was that? And then the guy sitting behind him.
A lot of people don't know.
The guy sitting behind him goes, Captain Marvel, and he just runs out of the theater. He was like so excited, the guy just bolted.
Brie Larson, come on.
Yes.
Brie Larson from Sacramento, by the way.
So here's the question though: is she gonna have the red, blue, and yellow outfit?
I think she'll have it in Avengers 4.
Yeah.
Not in...
I mean, we've seen that green suit in the...
I think she's gonna have Kree suit in Captain Marvel, red, yellow.
I know this will never happen. This will never happen. But I think I told you this. But she comes into Avengers 4, right? She's been keeping an eye on Earth. Maybe knows about the Avengers and what they do. Maybe that's why she doesn't even come to Earth, because she knows that they're protecting Earth.
That's a good point.
What if she has the green suit in Avengers 4? Cap sacrifices himself.
No.
She wears the red and blue to honor him because a captain needs to lead the Avengers.
All right. So why is there so much?
Well,
yellow?
The only thing is, why is the logo red, blue, and yellow when it pages her? That's the only thing.
Bum, bum, bum.
And I was thinking, like, okay, maybe she does get it.
They've retconned stuff like that before.
No, they could. I'm just curious about the green suit because. So I mean, I know it's Captain Marvel.
It's going to be Kree, and
he's green. Yeah, it makes sense.
It's almost like Rhodey in Iron Man 2, where he's wearing the platinum one to begin with, and then he gets an upgrade later on. Maybe she gets the green suit for like half the movie, and then something happens where she's like, okay, I'm a full-on hero now. I'm wearing the red, or maybe Nick Fury gives it to her.
You're too into this red one with her.
Dude, it's America.
She's going to be great, but the thing with her is she's all power. Like
she's everything.
But she can beat Thanos up.
Yep.
But the thing is, she's not going to be the one necessarily helping scientifically figure out how to get everybody back. Yes. But that's not her call. That's not her place. No. Her place is to come in and mess Thanos up, 100%. Which is what she's going to do. And I'm curious, is Thanos going to be the only villain in Avengers 4?
I don't think so.
And we can speculate all day, but I'm just curious at all.
I think he's going to need some kind of help. But again, he does have the glove, so he may not need help.
What if it's the Kree?
Or what if we finally see Death?
That's possible.
Because Hela was
Hela is the goddess of death
Yes,
in the MCU.
Thanos is all along.
He can
Sorry,
sound bad.
I just thought about something. What if all of the ghost people are with Hela? All the dust people.
Oh, in hell?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what? Yeah, like what if that's another theory out there. What if all the dusted people didn't nearly just get dusted? Like, what if they got transported somewhere? They could be in another dimension.
I don't think
we
they're.
don't know.
Maybe they're in the soul world.
No,
like
I
we
don't
talked
think they're
about.
in the
It's
soul
possible.
Because then there would be like half of the galaxy in Soul World.
Yeah.
And when he went back,
True.
all we saw was Gamora, baby Gamora, in that like Chinese looking structure.
Not the whole soul world.
I
Like
know
it can
it's
be,
Yeah.
it can be whatever it wants to be.
I don't think that they're all in Soul.
Yeah, I don't. Think so. I think they're dead. I just think they're dead for now.
They're somewhere.
The thing with this, people are gonna complain like, "Oh, they're gonna bring him back. Like it's not as meaningful." But they actually died. Like these characters in this reality died in front of people that they care about. So you have to take that for what it is and just, relish in that moment and then worry about the future. Like just appreciate this moment for what it is.
Yeah.
Thanos killed half the galaxy
With the snap of his fingers.
and we saw on screen a lot of our favorite characters just straight up die.
I really hope they don't introduce the multiverse.
I don't think they will.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Like
know
when
what's
they
gonna
bring
happen.
them back.
I don't know what's going to
If
happen.
they bring them back.
All right, Jacob, what do you got next, man?
So, I mean, we've been cherishing this movie, which we should, and talking about a lot of positives.
Yeah, there are a lot of bad, not a lot of
um,
bad things, but bad things.
For me, I did have a couple problems. One of my problems was the depowering of Vision and Scarlet Witch to me. I feel like they depowered them for convenience because, in my opinion, from what you've showed me so far in the films, I think Scarlet Witch could have killed the two, is it Proxima Midnight and the other guy who
Corvus
attacked them in the
Glaive.
beginning.
Yeah.
The Vision thing, I go back and forth with because he does say the blade, the technology in the blade didn't allow him to phase. Okay, but is Vision getting stabbed? Does that damage him that much?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's something I don't know about Vision. But for me, I think Vision and Scarlet Witch are a lot more powerful than they were played in this movie. And I think it was done for convenience. And like this movie can't be perfect. Most of the things I love in this film, but for me, that's one thing that bothered me is like, I always thought Vision and Scarlet Witch were just two of the most powerful beings in the MCU, and they were kind of just toned down a little bit in this movie, in my opinion.
I definitely agree with Vision because we only saw him use the Mind Stone as far as his head beam once.
Because isn't that supposed to just tear through
Pretty
anything?
much. But I don't know if they necessarily depowered Scarlet Witch. They just sidelined her.
Maybe.
They definitely
they did.
They
literally,
sidelined her in Wakanda when they definitely could have used her a little bit more because this MCU has explained once or twice that the Infinity Stones can't be broken. They can't be destroyed. She literally destroyed one with her bare hands.
I mean,
she has powers
show,
that were created from the stones, so she is like the stones, but she's one of the few beings, if not the only being in the universe, that can literally destroy a stone. And so
you're right. I mean, I guess that's the most powerful you can possibly show somebody. So I guess you're right.
I just wish they wouldn't have sidelined her. I completely agree because her role in this movie was so important because the Vision, Scarlet Witch, Thanos stuff took prominence because he has a stone in his head.
Yeah.
Vision definitely took a back seat, which he's taken a back seat in all three movies he's had,
sure.
And it's kind of unfortunate because he was a founding member of the Avengers in the comics. He's been around forever, but I definitely disagree with them deciding to sideline Scarlet Witch because, and they used her well in that Scotland fight scene. She was used really well. I understand that most of the time she was pretty much fighting him off just to take care of Vision.
True.
But they definitely sidelined her in moments that they shouldn't have.
Yeah, I think maybe now that I'm thinking about it, I think she's still a little bit inexperienced with combat.
She is, and we don't know how young she is, but she's young.
Yeah, because I think in Age of Ultron they're supposed to be teenagers. Like 17
I want
or
to say
18.
she's early 20s.
Yeah,
So that, by now, but now that I think about it, like she might be inexperienced. Maybe Scarlet Witch, 10 years experience with her powers, can just take out people like that.
And she's going to be around for a long time.
Yeah,
she is. Like,
I
the character is so
so,
strong and so powerful, and they use her so well. Like, she's going to be a big character going forward.
Yeah.
I think that they purposely doled down Vision by, obviously, him being stabbed.
Mm-hmm.
In the comics, Corvus Glaive's staff, it's called a glaive.
Oh, yeah.
That staff is actually super powerful, and
it was in the movie too.
Yeah.
It deflected Vision, the Mind Stone.
In that in the comic books, he cannot die while holding that staff.
Oh yeah, you were talking about that in one of our videos.
If you think about it, how did Vision kill him? With his own staff.
Yeah.
And
that makes sense.
When he got effed up in the subway, he didn't have his staff.
They took his staff away, yeah.
So
that's pretty cool.
So there's that. I also think we're not... I wouldn't say he's going to be back, but I also think we're not done with Vision in some form, because the only reason why I say this, and I know I'm saying everyone's coming back, is because before Corvus Glaive attacks Shuri, they make it a point to show that she grabs...
She said she finished. Yeah.
I don't know if she finished. They didn't... I mean, she could have still had
She
some.
definitely ended some type of connection that she was doing with Vision.
But she grabbed the hologram of the Infinity Stone and then blew up or something.
She might have finished or was hiding it.
Yeah.
So
to finish later or something.
There's some... I feel like there's some... And she's smart enough. If someone's going to fix Vision, it's going to be her.
Yeah.
And so maybe some type of... I don't see him coming back as Vision, having that...
There's a storyline in the comic where he comes back as all gray. He loses his color.
Yeah, that's why he...
And that's what they made a point to show that.
Yeah.
And that he lost all his coloring.
Yeah, there's a loophole to bring him back because he's a robot. You could say they downloaded his consciousness or whatever. That's more likely than Gamora, I think.
Yeah.
But I still don't want it. He killed him, just leave him.
Yeah, but
in my opinion.
Going back to the Scarlet Witch thing, it's going to be interesting going forward because as you watch that scene, like, the scene where she's destroying Vision, essentially, is arguably the most powerful scene in the movie. Because you see these two beings who have fallen in love with each other. Like,
I would have said Spider-Man dying was...
I mean, that scene where she's literally ripping Vision apart is pretty powerful, but she's able to hold Thanos back with her power. With him having the glove on.
With 5 stones.
Yeah, and so... It's interesting going forward.
And the only thing that really broke that up was the stone exploding.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
So it's interesting with her not being there going forward as far as what they're going to do.
I'm surprised they didn't keep her around for Avengers 4, honestly.
Yeah. We don't know what's going to happen with
that. That was the one character I was surprised they didn't keep around.
Yeah.
Was her.
I wish, because...
When she evaporated, I was like, oh, like, she's gone?
Everybody just started going.
And to be honest,
crazy.
Like, going into this, like, I was surprised because I think of her as a main Avenger now. I do. I think she's a main Avenger. I think she's one of...
she's been
she's one of the 6.
Age of Ultron.
Like I think she's one of the main
Avengers. When Civil War starts, she's on the team.
Yeah.
And, she's on Cap's team as of right now, with everything going on with the split. But
well, Cap and Black Widow have very much kind of taken her under their wing.
Oh, yeah,
especially after the line... I thought we were supposed to check in, or
they were their own little team of Avengers. Exactly. I think we found out Hawkeye and Ant-Man took a deal to be on house arrest, which makes a lot of sense. Actually, they're the only 2 with families that we know of. But yeah, it's crazy.
It'll be interesting. Yeah. All right, so this may be the last topic we talk about as far as timing goes, but we'll see if we get into a little bit more. But this is one that we're definitely going to want to talk about, and I'm surprised it hasn't come up yet.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Red Skull, baby.
I knew it.
Red freaking Skull. The best cameo Marvel has ever done.
The most surprising one. I have no idea.
So,
no idea.
Brian called it. This is not Hugo Weaving as voicing him.
I found out later.
They fought me tooth and nail.
It's Aaron from The Walking Dead, and look, we didn't know. We had no idea this character was coming back, so we didn't know who was playing him. But the guy who plays him does a
the fact that we couldn't tell.
Have you ever seen his impressions?
His impersonation of Hugo Weaving is absolutely fantastic.
It's great.
I was sitting there watching that scene out, and I was like thinking to myself, okay, that voice sounds incredibly familiar. Who is this guy? It pops up to you, Red Skull, and this is not just for one random fan service scene. This is happening for a reason because Thanos now has the Soul Stone. He no longer has to sit on Vormir to watch the Soul Stone. Red Skull is 100% coming back.
I think so too.
Because they recasted him too. They weren't just like, hey, Hugo Weaving, could you come do the 10-minute scene with us?
If that was the case, I wouldn't think he's coming back.
They recasted him, and that guy's going to play Red Skull going forward. 100%.
The name of the guy is Ross Marquand.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to say that.
Okay.
Aaron from The Walking Dead.
Okay, Aaron from The Walking Dead. He is a master impressionist. If you have not seen... There's like a little YouTube video of him where he does impressions. they are all spot on. Some of our friends had, if you would have said that was someone else, they would have been like, no.
Well, and it's perfect that he doesn't have to play a character like that's in human form, because they can literally make him look like Red Skull from the first Avenger.
Well,
for sure.
They could slap, even if they want to use him as not Avenger, they can just slap someone's skin on it.
Yeah, they can literally just make him look however they want and then use his voice.
Exactly.
And he looked exactly like Red Skull. Maybe
I thought it was Hugo Weaving.
No,
honestly.
yeah, like he definitely looked like he had been beaten up a little bit, which makes sense.
Yeah,
but as far as his,
and you don't get a great look at his face.
No.
Like it's under the hood,
Well,
it's to the side.
I've heard so many people going, "Oh my God, Darth Maul, Darth Maul!"
Wow.
Like, so many people are calling
I wonder
him
if they
Darth
really
Maul.
thought that. That'd be crazy.
But as far as the usage of him and how they tied it in, as far as the Tesseract taking him to Vormir,
It made so much sense.
Being there, like he's been there for 70 years. Like it fits perfectly.
They said 70?
Well, he's been there since the 1940s. Because of the first Avengers.
That's true. I forgot about that.
He's been there since he shot up from the Tesseract.
That's right.
Dude, you see him? He was floating in the air.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
But
he must have gotten some kind of power.
I think so.
100%. Like
I think he just got some type of like. Okay, first off, there's no way they didn't try to psych you out and make you think that was Death.
No.
At the very beginning. But then you're like, okay, well, Death in Marvel was a girl. I think that he became some sort of, well, obviously he was Watcher of the Stone.
Yeah.
And that's how he got all of that, which this is, by the way, if we keep going, perfectly segues into my second thing. But
maybe we'll get there.
Yeah, well, but now you threw me off. But I almost wonder if they knew that they were going to do this way back when.
Probably.
Because it is too perfect.
Dude, Marvel plans everything.
Yeah.
They literally plan everything to the T.
To me,
they probably did, because why else have him get sucked into space with Space Stone?
It fits. It
makes
perfect.
so much sense.
It's too perfect.
It makes me think also that Thanos taking the stone frees him from...
Oh, yeah.
I think so, too.
That's why, at first I was wondering, why is he letting him take the stone so easily? And I was like,
Well, we know, if you watch the first Avengers, that guy always has a plan.
Oh, he has an agenda.
Always has a plan.
Seeing Red Skull, I'm just going to say, is probably top 5 moments in the movie that made me so happy. Because I love that character. He's one of the best, most underrated villains in the MCU.
The third best villain.
He is great. And
third?
He has taken
Thanos,
on
Loki, Red Skull.
Really? Over Killmonger?
He has the potential to take on the Avengers by himself.
Yes.
I want to see that. I want him back.
Well,
I'm so happy because
also,
before there was no hope that he was coming back, and now there is.
Also,
it's great.
We never know if modern day Hydra is dead, but what if he comes back and he just resurrects the real Hydra?
It's possible.
Because that was his bread and butter.
With everything else going on, and nobody's paying attention to the government or anything.
Right now, after this movie, he's free.
Dude, and how easy would it be to infiltrate the government right now with everything going on? So easy.
Many
Doesn't he becomes president in
one point in the comics, he takes over at one point.
And he can disguise himself as anybody.
It's not going to happen.
No.
I don't think that, but we're seeing him again.
He's going to, whether it's a Captain America movie, whether it's some other, maybe an Avengers movie, but he's coming back 100%.
I agree.
So, Brian, and you said you had a perfect segue, man. What do you got?
My segue was the fact that there is a point with Red Skull that he uses Thanos' father's name.
Yeah.
Alars. I didn't catch how he pronounced it.
Yeah.
Thanos' father, where he says "son of." I'm just gonna go with Alars.
The way he just says that stuff.
I don't know if you know if Thanos' father is a part of the Internals.
Thank you for just absolutely
I don't know anything about
my story.
I don't know anything about Thanos. I just love the way he delivered those lines.
So this is Brian. This
son
is Brian,
of daughter of Thanos.
Yeah, this is Brian. Good. I'm gonna let Jake take over for Eternals now. But no, so he is Thanos' father is an Eternal.
I don't know anything about the Eternals either. I have absolutely no idea.
Neither.
He is a celestial slash Eternal character that found the planet that Thanos is from. Titan. So, and if there's the whole story of it is that Thanos' family is a founder of the planet Titan, and the Eternals are a human race for the most part. They look like humans, which we see in the flashback when they showed Titan. But there is I don't know if you would say deformative gene, called the deviant gene that affects certain Eternals, i.e. Thanos, that makes them look not human.
That's why he has fingernails and everything like that. That makes sense now. And he's even got a scruffy beard.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
5 o'clock shadow.
He has all this stuff. Now, he destroys the planet, but they have said it over and over and over and over again throughout the thing. He's not trying to wipe out whole planets. He's wiping out half the population. I.e., that could lead to all the rumors of us been hearing lately saying that the Eternals are going to show up.
Well, not even that, but they're going to get their own movie.
Exactly. Now, hopefully this isn't Inhumans Part 2.
No,
I don't think it will.
Different. This is different.
But if they're not going to use it, they definitely left that possibility open. There is a reason he said Thanos, son of Alars. There is a reason for that.
Well, and this also plays into, I think it was the Guardians Volume 2 cameo of Stan Lee, where he was sitting with the Celestials.
No, the
Watchers.
The Watchers,
right?
the Watchers. And they said that Stan Lee is a Watcher in the Marvel Universe. That plays into the whole Eternals thing as well, because they're kind of major in the universe, so are the Eternals.
Well, we could see some big players show up, because imagine this didn't just affect the people on Earth or anyway, it affected the whole entire galaxy. Yes. So imagine how many people Thanos pissed off. And not only the Avengers are going to be coming for Thanos.
All of the worlds, it's definitely, this is similar to the Stephen Strange name drop in The Winter Soldier. This is going to lead to something in the future, 100%.
So. Yeah.
But just think of the idea of not even seeing a Thanos' father in a movie. Thanos' father in a movie with the Eternals. That's
I never would have thought.
It would have to be some big
that is crazy
actor to play Thanos' father. I don't even know who I would put as Thanos' father.
Clint Eastwood.
That'd be pretty
with that voice, dude.
That'd be pretty. I don't even know what he looks like, but is he just a human? I don't know.
No, they're just a human.
Yeah, I was wondering, because Thanos does say they called me a madman, and I was like, is he just saying that as a saying, or
I thought it was a reference
referred to as men. Yeah, no, I thought that too, but he called himself a man.
But now knowing that they have that gene, I had no idea about that. It makes sense, and I wondered after that flashback, none of those people behind him looked like him.
Exactly.
And so I was always wondering, okay, that was a little weird. But now it makes complete sense.
Yeah, he's huge though. Are they normal sized humans? And he's.
I think they may be a little bit bigger.
Yeah. I think it depends.
I think they're definitely maybe a little bit bigger. Yeah. They gotta be.
Who knows?
All right, Jacob. This is your last topic for sure. So what do you got, man?
Man, there's a few I had left, but I do want to talk about the comedy in this movie.
Yeah.
For the most part, it could have went either way. We could have got Guardians 2 humor. Mm-hmm. We could have got first Avengers humor, which I think it leaned more on the first Avengers humor side. I loved the humor in this movie.
It worked perfectly.
And I just want to know what's your guys' favorite comedic moment in this movie? I think we could wrap it up.
Dude, that's great. That's great. I Am Steve Rogers is so good. Yeah, I mean, there's so many to think about. I love all the Rocket and Thor stuff that goes back and forth.
Sweet Rabbit.
Great. Every time he calls him Rabbit, I just laugh.
Thor opens his mouth.
Yeah, the Tony Stark stuff always with him and Doctor Strange was great. Spider-Man had some great moments. Him and Star-Lord, yeah, definitely.
Thor and Star-Lord. That scene. Mimicking his voice.
That's the best part.
That scene is cool. It's when Zoe Saldana is rubbing his muscles and he goes, drop his arm.
His muscles are made
it just goes on the table, just sounds like a rock dropping. No, I completely agree with you. It was perfectly timed. Even the Drax stuff, and that was one of my biggest complaints with Guardians Volume 2.
The invisible Drax.
Yeah, the invisibility, that scene was great where he's like, damn it. But he was one of my complaints about Volume 2.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just thought he was too used in the same stuff over and over again. But they used him perfectly. Where he goes, I got one for you. Why, Gamora? Mm-hmm. Or I'll top you, whatever he says.
That might be my favorite, but I think my number one favorite is Mantis when she says, kick names, take
ass. No,
couldn't
it's not
believe
that. It's Tony Stark's face.
Well, the whole thing together. Dude. I was shocked because
the way the camera stays on him too, it's not like a quick glance. It literally just sits there on his face. He's just
he doesn't know what to say.
Why the F am I with these people?
Yeah.
Why am I here?
That was hilarious.
It went back to being natural humor.
Yes.
Guardians 2 was a little forced. Guardians 1 completely natural humor. Same and Ragnarok.
The Russos, there with Civil War and the Winter Soldier, they brought out the rough side of directing. Like they grounded everything. This goes back to their days of Arrested Development on Netflix. Like that show, people love it because of the comedy.
Well, they were comedic directors. That's why everybody was doubting them at first.
And so, yeah, the comedy is perfect in this movie. It's perfectly timed. And what I liked about it is that most of it was in the first half, and then it got incredibly serious.
You can't be telling a lot of jokes at the end of the film.
And so it was like perfectly kind of set up to where you had fun in the beginning when all these characters were coming together, but then when stuff started happening, it really started happening, and they kind of let go of it, which was really cool. So
I mean, the last real joke I think was what the
I am Steve Rogers was the last real, and then
it wasn't. A lot of the jokes are like out there, and they're kind of sometimes meant to be jokes. That one wasn't meant to be a joke. Yeah. Steve Rogers was dead serious.
Oh, well,
that's what makes it funny.
I am Steve Rogers. Like
that's the only time. Because the only time
this is my friend Tree. Like, dude,
great. Yeah, he calls him Tree.
I think one last very important thing is: were you guys mad at Star-Lord in that moment?
100%.
But you kind of understand in a way too.
But the guy's
still,
he's an idiot. He didn't think Missouri was on Earth. He said, "I'm from Missouri." He goes, "It's on Earth, doofus."
Yeah.
Yeah. Douchebag.
Whatever. Yeah. Well, I love the line where he says, "Don't call us this. We don't know what it means."
Yeah.
Like that line is awesome too.
I loved all the parts where Spider-Man made the references to like old pop culture. Yeah. And then Star-Lord was like, "Footloose is the most popular movie of all time."
It never was.
Never was. No. His face.
It was like, oh no, but no, I remember reading somewhere. I want to say it was Screen Rant that said like. He's the worst character in Star-Lord's the worst character in the movie because he's the most immature character in all of the Marvel movies.
He's still a kid.
He is. Yeah. He's more immature than Peter Parker is. Yeah. And it shows because he couldn't get a grip on his emotions, i.e. blowing the whole entire thing.
And going back to your whole, my favorite comedy moment is I think it's when they call him fat and Drax does this. He shakes his chin
and grabs his stomach.
And you can tell Chris Pratt definitely put on some pounds for a reason, but I think it was on purpose for the lines.
You think so?
And they just did that, and his face is like, "Gamora, you think I'm fat?" And like they just kind of like roll over.
Nobody answers
I'm getting a bow flag.
Yeah, I'm getting a bow flag. Yeah, so I'm gonna commit. I got this.
There's so many good moments.
All right, so to finish this, I think this is kind of the perfect ending topic, but Doctor Strange's final words. As far as this was the only way. This is the only way. Mm-hmm. We saw previously that Doctor Strange went full, pretty much, crazy on us with the whole seeing 14 million futures.
Dude, he went nuts in the end.
Yeah, we only win one. With the way they got dusted, he gave up the time gem very easily, and he says this is the only way. It's clear in my mind that this is the path that he saw us winning, or saw them winning. That this had to happen for a reason. They had to get dusted. He had to give up the time stone. Everything had to happen for a reason. I could be completely wrong. I could be completely off basis, but I think a lot of people, a lot of just normal fans are going to look over that line as nothing when it's probably the most important line in the movie.
You're 100% right. That's exactly what happened, I think, honestly. He saw the outcome where exactly what happens. He had to give up the time stone. Tony had to live.
Exactly.
Yep.
That's where
Tony's going to be one of the main players in
yes.
figuring this out. And then also, he must have known that everybody was going to get dusted.
Yeah. And he just
and even himself.
Yes.
I think it was the most, and like you just said, you beat me to the punch, was Tony had to live.
I thought he was going to die. And
me too. Jake.
And I said Thor's my favorite Avenger after this movie. I mean, Iron Man has always been my favorite Avenger. And I was going to lose it, like, emotionally. Like, I didn't want to see it, dude. I did not want to see him die.
Well, everybody would, because not only did it happen kind of in the middle-ish of the movie, but he never had the reunion with Cap. Imagine that if he never had... And Cap's face, if he would have known...
That Tony died fighting Thanos.
Yes.
Like, yeah, dude. I didn't know how much I didn't want him to die until that moment. I used to think I would have been okay with it, but I don't think so now.
Like, I'm so happy that we're going to get that reunion.
I can't wait. It's going to...
just their faces, like, specifically Steve's, because you see those memes on the internet of Steve's face every time he sees Tony. He has that Steve face, or that Tony face. It's so good.
Yeah.
And so, but going back to the Doctor Strange stuff, it's so important, and it's going to move forward, and it's the line of the movie, and it makes everything go, and I think that...
Well, it makes you think that okay, they have a chance to beat him and figure this out.
Yeah.
That and the Captain Marvel thing at the end.
100%.
Those are like the two little hopes there. So.
Well,
yeah.
Are we finished, gentlemen? I think we're good to go.
I mean, I'm sure we could go on for 3 more
You know
hours.
what I'm surprised
if we
I
wanted
just
to.
thought of? We never mentioned not a word about Hulk.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of my topics
Oh,
about
was it?
him not
It was
hulking
mine
out.
too.
Yeah,
One of
but
mine
I think
too.
that we can do another video about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
There's
I
so
think
many things we
there's
missed.
so
so
much,
many, and
so
like
we
we
could go on for
mentioned,
hours.
we're gonna do some videos about this movie going forward. We got a bunch of things we want to talk about. Obviously, we're gonna have some fun doing it. But yeah, we talked about all good stuff. So it's gonna be interesting going forward for Avengers 4. What's gonna happen? We have a year to talk about it. Just a year, not 2 years. Just
It's so
a year.
short.
That's why Kevin
it's
Feige's
not
a
that
genius.
Just a year, which is incredible. So, any last thoughts, gentlemen, as far as Infinity War going forward?
Bring on Captain Marvel.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
next. Or we have Ant-Man and the Wasp next, and we have
Yeah.
Captain Marvel. So we have a short year ahead of
You're
us as
gonna
far as
lose
Marvel. So
your
it's gonna be
mind.
awesome. Well, boys, thank you for joining me on this podcast. I love talking this. Check us out on iTunes. Check us out on apocalypsemovies.com. Give us a like, share, subscribe. We appreciate all the support we got going on here. We're loving what we're doing. We're loving the support as well. Hit us up in the comments. Let us know what you thought of Infinity War. Before I get out of here, Brian, why don't you let them know where we can find you online, man, as far as Twitter, Instagram, anything?
B. Valosino at pretty much everything.
Cool. Jacob?
You can find me at Jacob Bartley _ on Twitter for sure, and of course on this YouTube channel.
Yeah, this YouTube channel. You can find me at Qui-Gon Jake on any of the social media. Again, thank you for joining us, and until next time, see you later.